I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. The menu was stacked as countless Ann Arbor eateries took over the downtown, serving up mouth-watering bites. Stomachs were full as people strolled through the downtown during the Taste of Ann Arbor.
Today, Taste of Ann Arbor is an opportunity to showcase what makes so many people love Ann Arbor. We are a foodie city, and we just can't get enough of the great restaurants that are available, and they're showcasing the best of the best down here on Main Street. Really outstanding food.
I think it's a really cool cultural experience getting to try foods from different restaurants, all different sorts of things that you might not be getting at home.
Entrees that ranged everything from all-American to international foods. Because they're bite-sized and small plates, you get a chance to compare and contrast different fish tacos, different chickens. You get chances to try different desserts, different salads. The best opportunity is to really get a chance to expand your palate by trying a lot of different things.
Once your appetite is quenched, there's live music and games for your amusement.
We just want kids to come up and want to interact with us and want to find out about the library, and the best way to do that is to provide trucks and hula hoops and fun things to play with, bubble machine, music. So we just set everything up and make it a warm, welcoming environment. We want families to come and hang out.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. Music was echoing from the neutral zone as teens hosted an annual event for the 5th consecutive year, showcasing local and national talents. It takes an entire school year to prepare, but their hard work and dedication pays off during Live on Washington.
We have 2 stages. We have an acoustic stage, which is singer-songwriter type of stuff, and some poetry, and then the main stage, which is things with live instruments, a bit more than just a guitar. We have all types of music. There's a lot of rock, there's some really cool hip-hop and R&B out of New York and Chicago.
Covering more than just the musical arts, they asked patrons to pick up a paintbrush.
They set up a really huge board, and they're just going to be spray painting on that. And we also have a piano that is a prepared piano, so there's like nails and stuff in there, so it sounds weird when you play it. And people are allowed to paint on it.
To keep Live on Washington thriving, support is a necessity.
We're putting our heart and soul into it, and these donations make our dream happen.
If we're going to have a youth-driven music festival and have it be like revolutionary or a really cool thing, it has to be accessible for everybody to come. So we need to keep it free.
This is the most convenient time of year to repair roads, and Ann Arbor has some major passageways getting a facelift this season. Get some road construction updates in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, I'm Nick Hutchinson. I'm the city engineer for the city of Ann Arbor, and I'm here today to give you a little bit more information about road construction in the city this year. Starting with the project right behind me, the Stadium Boulevard Reconstruction Project, which started back in November of last year and is scheduled to go through the end of August this year, just in time for football season. And also several other major road construction projects we have going on in the northeast side of town, where we're replacing the water main at the intersection of Plymouth and Green. We're also installing a roundabout at the intersection of Nixon, Duvarin, and Green. That intersection will be closed for the summer, starting in mid-June and going through the end of August. We have several other short-term road construction projects going on throughout the city, and you can find out more about those at our website at a2gov.org/road construction.
There's lots of work to be done around the house, and this time of year you want the outside to look its best. But what should you do with all that foliage that needs to go? Compost it, of course. Not only should you be composting the muck from your yard, but the unwanted food from your kitchen can be hauled away on your collection day as well. Joining me is Robert Kellar, Communications Specialist for the City of Ann Arbor. Welcome back to the show, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
So we've talked about compost before. This is kind of just like an update of what we should already know about composting. So why don't you just kind of tell us maybe some of the benefits of utilizing the compost program?
Well, first and foremost, compost service is something the city of Ann Arbor offers the spring, summer, and fall months. It ends the first week of December. And it's the opportunity for people to, as you noted, take those leaves, grass clippings, tree branches that you've recently cut down, and have the opportunity to have those recycled in a way that other people in the community can use. And recently, about 2 years ago, we added plate scrapings and kitchen scraps to be used in compost to be picked up. Now, you have to have the compost cart to take advantage of that service, but it's a great opportunity for people to not have to throw away those food scraps, and that includes bones, various vegetable scrapings, or leftover vegetables can just be put right into your compost cart.
Are there foods that can't go into the plate scrapings, or anything you can think of?
Pretty much anything that you would find edible, it can be composted. If you're not going to eat it, unless it's a bone, of course, we don't consume bones.
Yeah.
You can put that in the compost.
Okay, so there's not, anything you're kind of throwing away in your kitchen can just, food-wise.
Yeah, if you have a sandwich that's in its saran wrap that you want to throw out, get rid of the saran wrap first.
But when you go to buy the cart, can you still get the little kitchen one?
No, the kitchen composters are no longer available. We gave out thousands and thousands of them, but the demand decreased to such an extent that we just no longer make them available.
Okay, so what are some of the things that we should definitely not put into our compost cart? Because I was looking at the list, so you're like, things you might think, maybe like kitty litter or something.
Yeah, any animal waste is number one. Those should be double bagged and placed in your trash cart. And large stumps we don't take. And also people maybe think of like dirt. We don't put dirt, rocks.
Why is dirt
it's not? It doesn't turn into good compost.
Okay.
There are ways you can include some kinds of dirt in compost. I know there's better experts on that process than myself, but we don't accept that.
And no like compost. Rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, rocks, pebbles, even the small size when they turn the compost during the process, those can mess with the machine. So
if you do have a lot of that stuff, let's say you're doing a big yard job and you have a bunch of dirt and rocks, what do you do with it then?
Well, my first recommendation is because a lot of those items will be very heavy, and it's especially important that people recognize that there's a weight limit on the carts. And so it's important that you should probably contract with your landscaper or whoever's doing the work to go ahead and haul that material away.
What if you're doing it yourself, though? Is there somewhere to take it in the city? Like
it depends on some things. On particular just dirt waste, no, we actually don't take that.
Yeah, there's nowhere.
No, you have to contract out to have somebody else remove that. But if it's larger amounts of plant material, for example, branches that are over 6 inches in diameter, longer than 4 feet, which we can pick up curbside, you could take it to the compost center at 4150 Platt Road and have it dealt with there. And that information's all at a2gov.org/compost.
Do you have to pay when you take it?
Yeah, that larger material you do, because there is a fee for maintaining or taking care of the material.
Yeah, sure. You mentioned the weight limit on carts. What is it? Because what's the problem with this weight limit when the delivery truck's coming to pick it up?
Yeah, the automated arms are only designed to deal with so much weight on a cart, and it's both for the protection of the machinery and the protection of the staff. So when those carts are lifted and they detect over a certain weight, and I believe it's around 200 pounds or so. It's listed again on a2gov.org/compost. Is that arm tries to pull that weight up, it will stop. And so we just highly encourage it, because we have gotten some complaints of people wondering why their carts aren't being picked up on a regular basis, and it's because they're overloading the carts and the machines can't service them.
Okay, so you guys have to maintenance the arms on the machines then?
Yeah, and it's very expensive to just keep regular maintenance, but if we end up picking up a cart or trying to attempt to pick up a cart that's too heavy, it could cause more extensive damage, and that's even more expensive to handle.
Well, and obviously, at your home, you don't have like a big scale to put your compost cart on or any of your carts. So like the rule of thumb is...
good rule of thumb is, number one, avoid the materials we talk about on the website. If you're putting large stumps or trying to fit a stump or boulders in your compost cart, that's number one. It's probably going to put you over the limit. And number two is just, if you're of decent size human being and you can't move your cart, you can't push it back to wheel, like you need assistance from someone to move it, you're probably over the weight limit.
Well, and I'm an Ann Arbor resident, and I've been guilty of this at my house too, but not closing the lid, and that's like a big thing.
That's another big issue. Again, it helps to reduce the weight. So if you can close the lid, that's going to be a good indicator that you're probably under the weight limit. But it just helps us maintain when we're picking up the cart as it dumps in. If things are extending above the lid, they could get stuck. They may not get, and then the driver has to get out of the vehicle, which exposes him to risk and safety issues. Has to pick up things that fall outside the truck. So it's just a good problem to avoid. So anytime anybody puts a cart out, the cart has to be out with the lid fully closed.
Okay, and that's all your carts.
All your carts, your trash, your compost, and your recycling carts, it's all the same.
And mentioning all the carts too, you said kind of an issue in the city is because we have a lot of bike lanes, and if you live by a bike lane, you really should not be putting your cart in the bike lane.
Absolutely not. If you live on a busy street, for example, a 2-lane road that doesn't have a bike lane, it's still good not to put it in the street. Put it on your extension. If you live on a street with a bike lane, then it's definitely don't put it. You may not think that there's enough space there. But in Ann Arbor, we have a 5-foot safe passing ordinance. So we need to make sure that we're giving bicyclists and drivers plenty of space to adhere to that safe passing ordinance. And putting carts in the bike lane just prevents that from happening and poses a danger to people. It's really not worth the risk. But if you have some difficulty, if there's some issues with where to put your cart, please let us know. Contact us, give us a call. Log on to A2Fixit, and we'll see what we can do to mitigate the issue. There are some instances we've worked with people that maybe we have to change their route so they can put it on another side of their property that's on another street. If that helps the problem, we're certainly willing to work with people to do that.
Yeah, I've noticed, just like on Packard, you'll see like people put it in their driveway, or because obviously there's a bike lane right there, and then put it in your driveway or somewhere else. But if you need to get out of your driveway, then that could be a problem too. So.
My father-in-law's the same situation in Ann Arbor. He lives on a street, a very busy street with a bike lane, but then has a very quiet residential street on another side. So it was very much easier fix just to be able to put it there than to pose a threat to people on the bike lane.
The other question I have is, can you compost napkins?
As long as they're plain paper napkins, it's just like any other material and kind of natural material, then yes. But most paper products, if they're clean, we'd rather you put them in the recycling because we can recycle those. So it depends on the product. It's kind of a judgment call. Recycle Ann Arbor has a great website, a way to look up what material you might be able to recycle. So that would be a place to start if you're not sure of the materials. Look there first. Because if it's recyclable, that's the first way to go. But if it's not recyclable, depending on the product, it could be compostable. And a lot of manufacturers will put that label on the material. It'll say this product is compostable, so that's helpful as well.
The other thing I want to mention before we go is I think it's just such a great service to actually have the cart, the compost cart. And I notice a lot of people use bags, and it's like you have to pay. You obviously have to pay for the cart, but you're paying for the cart one time.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of things that you can put in the cart that you can't put in the bags. Number one, all the plate scrapings we talked about, and the food material, not allowed in the bags. Grass, not allowed in the bags, and all those materials are available in the cart. And I understand that some people might be concerned about the cost. As you said, it's a one-time cost. And
it's really not. And you can get, they're all the same price, each cart, right?
Yeah, and they're available in a couple of different sizes. Again, a2gov.org/compost, all the information's right there. They're also very easy to maintain. You can rinse them out real easily with a hose. They're nice and sturdy. They're easy to roll to the curb. It's really a no-brainer if you can do it.
All right, well, thank you, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.